Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. Good morning. We've been in Norfolk for a whole week. We came for the AGLCA Spring Rendezvous, so met lots of really lovely people here, people who are here in their boats in progress in the loop. Most of them are new. We're one of the older ones, or have been doing the loop the longest. And there are lots of people who are in the planning stage, so we were able to open our boat up for people to come and see 2 of the 3 days. We had lots and lots of people coming to look at the main ship. Give them ideas if they have their own boat, or people just interested in looking at boats. So that was fun. So it's now the morning after everything is done, and we had already planned to leave, but it turns out that the weather is perfect for going up the Chesapeake Bay, and we do have to be careful with the fetch that can be created north-south on that long bay, as well as going past the inlet, which we will go past this morning. So we have planned a route that is approximately 8.5 hours long to an anchorage near Reedville called Mill Creek. On the way, we're going to stop for fuel in Hampton. So it might be about 9 hours altogether. And so we're just preparing to leave. We have a beautiful day now. The sun is coming up and it's calm. A little bit of traffic going by because it's still a weekday. It's a Friday. So we want to be checking our AIS for commercial traffic before we head out, because Norfolk is probably got the most warships here. So we can see them from our dock here. And as we go up towards go north towards the other end of Norfolk, we're going to see a lot more warships, so we should see that on today's episode. So we're getting ready to go. Malcolm's just preparing the upper helm. I just cleaned all the windows and everything. We're about to unplug, and we'll be untying from the dock very shortly. Hope you're having a great day. We just left Waterside Marina, and across the river, this is Elizabeth River, across there is Tidewater Marina, which is a very nice marina over there that some of the loopers stayed at. just stopped in Hampton, Virginia at the Blue Water Safe Harbor. They had the best price for fuel in this area. And so we're filling up right now. You can see Malcolm right there doing the starboard side fill up right there. And so take us probably just half an hour max to do that. And both sides will top up and we'll be on our way. So we finished our fueling up, topped it right off, got a good price, and now we're heading back out of the harbor here, back to the channel to go up the Chesapeake Bay. There's an air show going on at the AFB just near here, so it's very dramatic seeing these pilots go straight up into the air and straight back down again, and some cool moves. Hampton Roads is one of the busiest ports on the East Coast. The region is home to the world's largest naval base and is a summertime destination for hundreds of thousands of visitors. At this point, we traveled along the main shipping channel, which goes over a 4-lane tunnel, the Interstate 64 and US Route 60.
Good afternoon. This is a report from the bridge. Today we're in the mighty Chesapeake Bay. We just left the Waterside Marina in Norfolk. We did a quick pit stop to pick up some diesel, which by the way was a pretty good price. And we took on roughly 160 gallons of diesel, which should get us all the way up the bay. We're now heading out because we have 4 days, I think almost 5 days of terrific weather on the bay, and that really means it's going to be sunny, no wind, and that means no waves. So we are really taking advantage of it. We'll be stopping in a few anchorages on the way up, and the hope being that we can, really take advantage of the good weather, make some miles, but also stop at some of those key places that are a little further up the bay that we want to see. Today's in Anchorage. We're doing approximately 65 nautical miles on the way up. We've got a bit of a kick every now and again from the current, so we're looking around 7.8 to 8 knots, and we're running just over 1,800 RPM. It's, again, cloudless sky, sunny, really a good day to be out on the water. And that is a report from the bridge.
We're well on our way to our anchorage today, and we did start into the bay a little bit later than some just because we stopped for fuel, etc. But we're making good progress, and there are quite a lot of boats coming out today, and we're all spread out nicely though. And we can see when we look out that There's some nice cloud kind of over the land on either side, and the water at the bottom of the bay was wavier, a little rougher, but not very rough at all compared to what it could be. But it was rougher down there than it is already here, and it's really smoothing out here, and that's pretty much what we expected in terms of the forecast. And the wind basically causes a lot of fetch from north to south or south to north, because Chesapeake Bay is that configuration. So with the wind really dying down over the last day, and will be calm all today and for the next few days actually. So these sort of at least 3, maybe 5 days even, will be ideal travel conditions along the Chesapeake Bay. And all along as we go along here, there's many side rivers, and they take you to other little towns. So with all these bays, there's little towns, there's little anchorages, and there's lots and lots to explore. In fact, some people say you could spend a whole summer here and not see it all. So as we're passing through, we're going to try to pick some of the highlights and see those areas. But really, as some of you may know, we do really like anchoring. So we're looking forward to finding a few anchorages along the way. Might even be able to take the dinghy into some of the little towns and have a look as well. But with these calm conditions, it should be ideal for anchoring as well. And the sun is out. It's a little cooler here than it was in Florida. The highs are around 20 Celsius or 68 Fahrenheit. So you can see we have our coats on, and that's because it was a bit windy this morning. Probably can start taking our layers off now. But out on the water, it always feels cooler than, just walking around a town. So when we stopped for fuel this morning, I shed on my layers because it was so nice and warm in the sun. But out here, we're more exposed to the wind that we get just from the movement of the boat. So when you're just sitting, it does feel a bit cooler. So all in all, it's a great day, and we're looking forward to getting to our anchorage. It'll be later this afternoon, probably closer to 5 o'clock. But just being out here is very enjoyable, and we're taking advantage of these really calm days. As we approach our anchorage, it's in Mill Creek, which is just south of Ingram Bay, very close to Reedville in Virginia. But as we approach this area, we're getting a little closer to shore, and we're noticing quite a lot more crab pots. So we're being quite vigilant and watching for the strings of crab pots that we're finding there. And most of them have been pretty visible, like brighter colors like yellow or orange, which is great, but they're very tiny. So when there's any waves and you get a little bit of white caps, it's quite hard to see them. So we've seen quite a few as we get closer to shore, and we should be there about an hour or so. And we're going to put our anchor down in a nice quiet anchorage. We've arrived at our destination in Mill Creek, which is just inside of Ingram Bay and near Reedville in Virginia. And the sun is just coming out. It's beautiful right now. I'm gonna have to take some layers off. It was quite cool out on the water, but right now it's nice and warm in the sun. And there's a couple of other boats here. If I turn this way, it's a little hard to see because the sun is bright. But we went 69.6 nautical miles. It took us just over 10 hours. We did stop for fuel, and that took a little bit longer, and then we had some current against us this afternoon, so it took us a little longer because of that. But it's a beautiful ride today, and we've arrived, and we're going to enjoy a nice, quiet, relaxing evening.